Alright, starting to go live. Let's see. Alright, so going live right now. See if we're going to update some of these titles. We are ARCA, I think 15, and we are at Kentucky this week. So it gets updated. Watching this, we turn down the sound so we can get everything ready. And I think we are good to go. Alright. So we can go and start the game. Yes, and just a quick check for the starting lineup. Or the starting grid.
Drivers,
looks like
to
we
your cars.
Are good. At least for now. Oh, of course you're gonna crash on me as I'm trying to start this stupid thing. Ugh, that's how it always is. Alright, let's restart the game. Single race, continue, resume, and let's start this. So let's go standings. All that's good
Drivers.
now. Okay, what is going on now? Let's see. That's dumb. Okay, so let's try this again. And hopefully everything goes fine. Continue, resume. Let me make sure that's working right.
Drivers, to your cars.
Looks like the stream is now good to go. Alright, so here is the starting grid for the race. So Rollins in his first race is first, followed by Adams, Cargo, Sheets, and Mass, the top 5. And then down at the back, basically Wayne, King, Green, Bishop, Srivastava, and Jarvi got in purely on season standings. So they were not going to qualify for the race, but they got in because of where they are in the season standings. Since we have, I think we're at like 47, 48 drivers now. So we now need to do qualifying. So we basically do qualifying A and B and then go from there. Alright, so we can go ahead and start the race. And pray nobody blows an engine. Good, because this is starting to get very difficult to set up fully now. So no issues there. Alright, so Ron's in the 45, right next to Adams in that 23 car. I know a lot of these front cars are having a pretty good starting of the season. So let's see which line get the best start as they come to the green flag. It looks like Adams got a little bit of a better start, but Rollins in that 45 is on the inside line, which is definitely going to help him out. As you can see, the inside line is definitely much faster. So we see the cars coming through for the first turn. No issues so far, so that's always definitely good, as the front 3 cars so far have gotten back down into a line. Looks like 45 did go up a little bit on that turn, but that 23 wasn't able to make it. Now he's going to go in. So now we're going to challenge for the lead. We'll see who Sheets in that 31 decides he's going to back. Right now it looks like the 23 of Adams. Though he is a little bit further back than the other ones. There's multiple 3 wide going on in the back, but right now this battle for the lead between the 23 of Adams and the 45 of Rollins. We'll definitely see if its experience is going to become a factor. It looks like it may have. He left a line for the 23 of Adams open. We'll see what happens, as we do see the 17 of Mass coming up pretty quickly. We'll see if Mass in that 17 can pass Sheets. Doesn't like get too much help from the back drivers, as they are a little bit further back. Though it does look like that 45 is trying to make that middle lane in the corners work, but it does not look like he's going to, as Mass now is right behind him. You take a look at some of the back cars in the race, seeing if anybody in this back part can actually move up in the race. As we see Brooks, who has been, I think he's got 3 wins so far in this first ARCA season, all the way here in the back, so he definitely has a ton of work to do in that 80. Then we have Davis as well in that 56. And then Green in that 42 car definitely got in because of season points. And a couple other newer drivers. We scroll up and see some of the racing going on towards the back. So we see 3 wide right here, very close. So I think the 15 of Grubb, the 57 is now we're a 4 wide. It's not going to last very long. You see the Grubb and the 15 drop back a little bit. And now we're dropping back to just 3 or 2 wide. Definitely could have been an interesting race if they had stayed 4 wide longer than a few seconds. As this battle for 10th position. So we scroll up, it looks like the 45 Rollins has kept the 17 of Mass back, and he now has basically work to do to catch up to that 23 car. So that 23 car has been having a very good season. He definitely is one of the newer drivers, but I think he has only about 1 win so far, but I think he's only got like 5 or 6 races, but he's definitely one of the top drivers so far. And next, Rollins, who this is his first race, so definitely if he can keep it up and get a top 5 or top 10, that would definitely help him out heading to the back end of the season. I don't think any of these newer drivers have a chance to make the playoffs, but definitely positions himself for maybe a better sponsor next year, or maybe even moving up if his team can get enough money to move up to the trucks. We take a look at some of these back drivers. It's like Custer in the 00, new paint or a new sponsor for him. I think he's hoping to move up a little bit so that he can make a little bit more money and get some more publicity from his sponsors. We see a very close 3 wide going on right here, as we do see the 80 of Brooks starting to move up into the field. Definitely see if he's going to be able to keep that going, as he is about 35th position. So there's a ton of 3 wide going on back here in this race. So a lot of these drivers definitely need to get some top finishes coming up. As a 55 thought about jumping 4 wide right beside the 24, but it doesn't look like he's going to. So definitely some, and especially in the straightaways, 3 wide racing is definitely doable. And so far, no mistakes as 12 of Bishop did cut right in front of that 7 of Srivastava. So it didn't look like he had too much room, but it looks like he was able to stick his car right in between those two cars. As we see Walker Jr., who definitely had a good start to his season, has slowly not had the greatest finishes, as he's currently in 26th position. He hasn't been in the top 10 for a while, so he's definitely hoping to be able to move up slowly in this race. And then we see Wayne King in 20th position. I think he was one of the drivers who got in purely on season. As it was Jay King in that 11, almost gets sideways. Not sure what happened here, if he just got loose, what, but he was almost sideways and head straight into the wall, but he was able to save it. But yeah, like I said, this 20 car of Wayne King got in purely on season points because he did not qualify very well here, but we do see him moving up. He's in 20th position and he was moving up pretty decent. We see some of these other drivers, the top the front, about 10-15 drivers are starting to stretch out, though right now the 23 and 45 are pulling away. As we do see, the 45 has finally caught the 25. He still has about maybe 2 car lengths to go, but he is definitely catching up to that 23, so definitely getting some laps in his car and getting used to racing. As right now he's just right on the back, and here comes the 17 and 10 and 0. Actually, here comes basically, I think oh, somebody crashed. As we are now going to caution. Let's actually go see what happened to Custer. Definitely not what Custer wanted to see, or his team. So it looks like they were going 3 wide. Heading into the turn. Yeah, it looks like the 7 of Srivastava may have turned into his turned straight into his car, his back right, and just took him straight into the wall. I mean, at least he was able they were able to stay in the wall and not just turn back into the rest of the field, as that's probably the end of his day. Everybody else is heading back to the line. But yeah, definitely not what the 00 of Custer wanted to see. Sure, he wanted to try to have a good finish, but from looks of his car, he is probably done for the day. Srivastava might be, it looks like he's going to be able to stay in, but it doesn't look like, but yeah, Custer is definitely done for the day. As we see, Srivastava does have some pretty heavy damage on his side. But it looks like they were able to fix that up, and he is back out into the track. As we scroll up, so it looks like, so it looks like Rollins dropped back to maybe 5th position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, about 5th position after those pit stops. We take a look. I think yeah, Custer's done for the day. Definitely probably not what he wanted to see, or his team. We get back to the live feed as we scroll up. As we see the 23 of Adams currently leading, followed by the 17 of Mass, and then Ward, I believe Barker, and Rollins, top 5. So Rollins has a little bit of work to do to get back into the top 2. We'll definitely see what the 23, what the 17 can do against this 23 car, who has been leading for most of the race. Of course, the 23 also has that teammate of Ward in that 10 car right behind him, so we'll definitely see if he's able to, if the 17 of Mass is able to keep the 10 behind him, but we'll definitely keep an eye on that and see if the 10 and 23 can link up and try to pull away from the rest of this field. So we are going to go green flag next time by. So we do see 2 teammates back here, Saunders and Martinez. Definitely not what their team wanted to see. And a Walker Sr. who definitely just trying to get some top finishes so that he can upgrade his car a little bit so he can have a few more top finishes. Earlier in the season he was doing pretty well. We're heading into the backstretch. So it looks like the Srivastava was able to get his car fixed up. Definitely see if he's going to be able to stay up to speed, or if he's going to fall back and cause some issues for the leaders. As we are getting ready to get green. And we see if the 17 or 23 gets a good run. So the pace car is in. And we have the 23 coming to get the green flag. Looks like he's got a great start as he is pulling away from the 17. Let's see if he's able to keep that speed going into the corner. And it does look like he is able to, as the 17 has about 2 car lengths to catch up to him. Though he as well pulled away from that 10 car. So looks like he did get off or get on the gas a little bit slower, but he is right there with the 23 of Adams. Let me take a look at some of the back cars. So it does look like Srivastava is at least semi keeping up to speed, as he is right there with Martinez in that 22 car. So it's definitely good for him. He'll be able to hopefully move up a few positions. We are looking through some of these. Some of the back battles right now. Looks like Grubb in this 15 is trying to get past the 20 of King and the 5 of Williams. Williams takes a very wide turn. Not sure what's going on there. Though 20 Wayne King is moving up extremely fast, as he is now in 16th position after starting near the end. That's definitely good for him, as it does look like Rollins is passing the number 10 for that 3rd position. So it looks like he is moving up slowly, but now he has the 17 to catch up to. And then the 23 a little bit further ahead of him. It looks like these two right now are slowly pulling away. We'll see if the 10 of Ward is going to be able to do anything with the Rollins. It looks like maybe in a couple of laps they'll be able to catch up to each other. It does look like the 7 of Srivastava is starting to fall back a little bit. As we see some of these battles at the back of the pack. As we see the 72 trying to get or stay ahead of Brooks in the 80 car, of Martin in that 72 car. Looks like his first race as well, sitting in 26. So definitely needs some time and some experience to start moving up. But it looks like he is going for that inside line on, I think, Haas. Yeah, Haas in that 8 car. So definitely good to see him slowly moving up. As we see Jay King in 22nd, he was the one that almost spun out, but was able to save it earlier in this race. So it looks like maybe he is starting to get, starting to put together a good race. And then we see Wayne King in the 20th. It's still moving up. Looks like Grubb, though, looks like he got a good run heading out of that corner and may be able to finish passing the 20. But it doesn't look like the 20 is going to give away this position, at least not without a fight. Though that 15 definitely does have the inside lane, so he may be able to get through it just by being in the fast lane, as it looks like he does. We take a look. Looks like the 51 of Barker is now starting to pass, or try to pass, the 10 of Ward. So it looks like Ward is starting to drop back a little bit from the starting. He was, I think, 3rd place, and now it looks like he's dropped back to 5th place. And as we take a look at the top 3, looks like they have slowly caught up to each other. Though the 17 looks like he did take that turn a little bit wide, so does not look like he's going to catch him, at least not this lap. As that 45 right now has his eyes on that 23 car, who has led most of this race. Yeah, so it looks like the 7 of Srivastava is starting to fall back. So I'm not sure the damage caused by the being involved in that wreck is definitely not helping him out. But we'll see if he's able to stay out without getting black flagged for going too slow. But it does look like we have a few, a little bit a while before the leaders catch up to him. We take a look at some of the battles going on towards the back. It looks like Wayne King now is starting to try to pass Grubb in that 14 or 15. As the 15 is still stuck out in the outside, as the 19 car of Prescott now in his first race is trying to catch up to him or get past him. It looks like he might be able to do it this time. As King is now in 16th position, so he's definitely doing much better. Definitely starting a lot better. As we see the leaders right now, basically right next to each other. As they enter the turn, a 17 catches right up to the 45. At least he's staying out of the back of him. So definitely running clean, so that's definitely good. As he enter the turn, that 23 is hugging that inside line, not giving the 45 any room. So that 45 may need to jump to the inside a little bit earlier in some of these turns, just to try to stick his nose right there. We'll see if he tries to pass him cleanly or just kind of bumps him out of the way. Right now he's not giving him any space. The 45 is not giving Adams any space to move. As Adams is just trying to stay on that inside line with the 45 right on his back bumper. As we hit lap 30 of 81, we have the 45 of Rollins right on the back bumper of Adams in the 23. As now looks like Rollins getting to the inside line pretty quickly. We'll see if the 17 of Mass decides to help him out, or if he's going to get behind the 23. Though it looks like Rollins just passed him straight up with no help from the 17. And got a great run at exiting that corner, as the 23 now is about a car length back. Though he is catching up in the exit of this corner. We can take a look at some of the racing going on towards the back. Looks like most of the field has stretched out, so there's not too much 3 wide going on right now. As we see Jarvie in the 9 slowly moving up. He's in 22nd position currently. And then the Brooks of 80 is in about 23rd-ish. As we see King's still in 16th position, but he's definitely moved up a ton in this race. And it looks like here comes Barker in the 51, trying to pass Mass for that 3rd position. Definitely trying to get his teammates, or get up to his teammate to hopefully help him out. And it looks like he was able to pass him pretty cleanly. And now has his eyes set on the 23 car. Now it looks like he's fallen back a little bit from the 45. Take a look at a couple of these back battles again. It looks like the field still is stretching out. Looks like Srivastav about 9 seconds back, so it will be a while before the leaders catch up to any lap car. As we do see Rollins, looks like the 23 of Adams has started to catch up to Rollins, but not able to stay behind him as Rollins does pull away. Looks like the 51 is starting to catch up to the 23. So we'll see if he's going to be able to pass 23 to make it 1-2 for him and his teammate. As right now, Rollins is in control of this race. So we take a look at some of these back races. Looks like Wayne King has dropped back a few positions. It looks like Grubb at the 15 now has decided he's going to pass him as well. So definitely not what King wanted to do, but it's probably his tires are starting to wear out, as we are starting to get to a point where drivers do need to start thinking about pit stop or green flag pit stops. It does not look like there's going to be a caution, at least not right now. So of course there could be, especially the way some of these cars in the back of the pack are racing. As we see, the 51 has finally caught the 23. Wasn't able to pass that turn, but may be able to get to the inside coming up. And it looks like the 45 has stayed a steady step in front of the 23 after taking first place maybe 10 laps ago. As right now the 45 Rollins in his first race is definitely doing very well, and he has a teammate coming up, so might be able to pull away a little bit depending on how clean the rest of this race is, as we're almost about halfway through. As we do know, there are going to be pit stops very soon. It does look like Srivastava is about a half a track away, so he may not be an issue at all in this race, especially once pit stops start going on. So we take a look at some of the racing going on towards the back. It's like two teammates in the 20 and 80 are together. In the top 20. I think they wanted to finish a little bit higher than the top 20, but they still have a lot of time to go, or have a lot of time to move up in this race. It did look like the 20 of Wayne King was going to be able to move up pretty quickly, but Looks like he may be dropping back a little bit because of tires, but we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. As we see Prescott in his first race right now in 13th position. We'll see how well he can keep ahead of some of these other drivers. As we see some of these top 10 races here between I think Bowers in the 05 and Cargo in the 54. Now it looks like Cargo has this position. Bowers is definitely right there. Looks like the 51 of Barker is still right behind the 23. He has been there for about 3 laps and still hasn't been able to make a move. Though he may have to wait till after the pit stop. So it looks like he is right here, right behind the 23. May try to make his move coming up into this first turn. And here he goes. Inside on the 23. Looks like 23 was not able to close that gap. As the 51 is trying to get to the inside, that fast inside lane, but that 23 got a good run heading out of it, but wasn't able to stay or get ahead of the 51, as the 51 is still right there. As that inside lane is definitely the faster of the 2 lanes, as the 51 did finally pass the 23. And it looks like the 23 was not able to cross to try to get that second position back. And it looks like the 51 will keep that second place position, at least for the time being, as we're on lap 40. I think we're on lap 46 of 81. We take a look at some of these some of the racing going on in the back. Looks like for the most part, most of the track has been, or most of the cars have spread out. Looks like the 80 of Brooks is starting to make a move as he's passed a couple of drivers in this last couple of laps. Though he does have a little bit to go. He definitely has the time, especially with at least 1 or 2 more pit stops to go. Especially once we do some green flag pit stops, which may be coming up soon as we've got about 30 laps or so. So we take a look at Srivastava in that number 7 is about 13 seconds back. So this takes about 30 seconds to get around, so he's still got a while to go. As we see some of these back drivers not having the greatest race so far, especially 2 teammates in that 21 and 22. Saunders and Martinez. And then Gonzalez in this 14 towards the back of this race, probably hoping for a caution to get back towards some of these cars that are starting to pull away. As we see Wayne King still dropping back a little bit from, I think, 13th position. Now he's up to 21st. So he may be looking to come in the next couple of laps to see if he can get some fresh tires on and see if he's going to be able to make a good showing. We do see, there we go, the first set of pit stops going on. Looks like no issues for this first group. So it could throw some things, a wrench into things if there is an issue heading into the pits for some of these cars. We see, looks like about a second group of pit stops is coming in. And this one looks like there's some bunching going on, but looks like everybody was able to stay out of each other, which is definitely a good thing. definitely do not like to see a caution flag because of something that happens in the pits. As it looks like the remainder of the drivers are coming down into the pits. And we'll see if staying out an extra lap or so will help them out. As we see this 21 car in the way of the 0. We'll see what happens here. They did make a... Yeah, 21 was almost in the way. So we watch some of these cars start to join back up into the pack. Does not look like any issues right now. So overall, clean green flag pit stop so far. As for now, we were just waiting probably a lap to see who exactly gained and lost from that those pit stops. So we see the 5 of Williams jumping back into the pack here. Make sure that she stays out of the way. Looks like she finally got it back up to speed, but the 84 of Emerson did catch up to her pretty quickly. There's 3 wide going on here with Yates and the 18, though everything did look like it stayed clean. There's a small pack forming here. The 57 almost gets into the 72, but ends up bouncing to the outside, which is leaving a huge gap for basically everybody to get past him. Looks like everybody has taken them, so let's go ahead and take a look at the standings. Like Barker and Rollins basically just flipped positions. Torres took over 3rd place, Weber 4th place, Mass dropped down to 5th position, and then Adams down to 7th. So definitely not what he wanted to see. As it looks like they're definitely spread out more, as Saunders' last place is about 17 seconds back. So overall, definitely a big shuffle going on, as we see Barker in this 1st place and has basically a sizable lead on his teammate in the 45. So about 2 seconds, and then 2 seconds behind him is 3rd place, and then basically a 3rd place group. And then the 23 of Adams in the 6th position has a ton of space to cover, so he has about 6 seconds to cover to get past or to catch back up to the leaders. So I think he is hoping for a caution to come out, but I know there's a lot of the pack has stretched out a decent amount, as we do see Bowers dropping back a little bit, taking that outside line. Not really what he wanted to see. As we do see Mass now passing Weber in that 33. As the 17 has the inside line, has a faster line. And I know he wants to get past that 29 to try to compete for a win, as he definitely does have a very fast car. As we take a look at some of these back cars, looks like Srivastava on the 7 was able to, I think, had a decent pit stop, so he was able to get up in the standing. Is starting to drop back down because of that damage he has. So we take a look, see what's going on with Williams, and then this 11 car, who almost had an issue at the very beginning of this race, but looks like he's had a decently clean race for now. It looks like Williams is right behind, so definitely keep an eye on him. It does look like for the most part all of the cars have stretched out. Here's a 3 wide going on right here with Ward, Bowers, and I think Hannah in the 16. Though that did not stay 3 wide for very long. As we see, the 45 is slowly catching his teammate. He's now about less than 2 seconds to go, or 2 seconds before catching him. And then the 21 is about 17 seconds ahead of the leader. So no, lap cars can definitely cause some issues, especially if they do not get out of the way, which most of these cars do not get out of the way as they're racing for points. As we see Green, who got in on season points, and Jarvie in that 9, both got in because of their point or season points, but they right now are battling at the end of the pack. As we see King trying to get to the outside of Williams in that 5. Looks like she's able to stay ahead, and it looks like pulling the 84 of Emerson past him. I know Emerson is looking for a good finish here. Though he is in 30th position, so he definitely has a long way to go. And then Wayne King's in 22nd position. He is starting to catch back up. But he definitely started towards the end of the pack, so overall, I mean, he's gained, made 20 positions, so it's definitely a good start for him. As we see this number 6 right now, which is our season points leader pitch, is in 20 or 19th currently, maybe 20th. So having an average race today, definitely has time to move up. As we take a look at Walker Jr., definitely a top 20 would be good for him, as he's been off the last couple of races. As we see the 80 of Brooks, who has a couple of wins this season, starting to move his way back up. We'll see if there's another green flag pit stops, see if he's able to move up. And then we have Grubb right now, who's basically just trying to catch up to his teammates. As we scroll up, see Ward right now in 8th position. Definitely has a lot of space or a lot of time to make up. And then of course the 23, who is leading a few laps. Looks like he is slowly making his way to the front. He's about, he looks like he lost about 0.13 seconds that lap. So it looks like Weber in this 33 car is dropping back very quickly. So we take a look at the leader. For the most part, staying about 2 seconds ahead of second place, which is his teammate. And then third place, not 29, is staying about 4 seconds back. So about 2 seconds behind the third place car. So overall, everybody for the most part is staying basically exactly where they need to be. They are slowly pulling away from the back few cars. And for the most part, these guys have also stretched out, as this is a pretty decent sized track, as it's like Bishop 18 and then the 8 get in 3 wide, but they were able to stay clean, as 3 wide in this track is very easy to stay in. Look at pitch in that 6 car is looking to the inside of the 57. He has help by Paul in that 4. Though it looks like Paul has decided to jump to the outside to see if he's going to push Tyler in that 57. But it looks like in the corners he wants to stay in that inside line. But just not able to get that 6 is not able to get past the 57. Looks like he may have gotten past for that lap right there. Though that inside line is definitely much faster than that outside line. We'll definitely come back to see if the 6 is able to get past that 57. As we do see Grubb now trying to pass the 24 to see if they can get basically 3 cars in the top 10 of his teammates. So he's definitely starting to move up. As it looks like Weber is just falling almost like a rock. I think he was maybe 3rd place, and now he's in 8th place. So he's dropped at least 4 or 5 seconds. As we see the two teammates right here, the 23 and 10 of Adams and Ward. We'll see if they're able to link up. Though they have dropped. Actually, I think they've caught up about a 0.1 seconds. So they've got definitely some time. It looks like the 45 and the 29 have cut the lead of the 51 about a half a second. And in the 7, they are slowly catching the 7. The 7 is about 10 seconds ahead of him, as we have about 11 laps to go. So he may be able to, the 51 may catch up to the 7. So if we do have a caution flag, that'll probably end that possibility. But for the most part, most cars are spread out, so it does not look like we may not have a caution for the remainder of this race, as most cars are just passing one at a time. Though we might, especially if this pack forms up here. So we see the 80 of Brooks in the 16th position. Has a decent group here to try to get past as he goes to the inside of Walker Jr. We'll see if the 19 of Prescott is able to help push the 80 past. Though the 16 car right here of Hannah is right in the way, so he's not able to get fully up to speed into that corner. As the 80 wasn't able to get past the 1 of Walker Jr., at least not that lap. As Prescott takes that turn extremely wide. Definitely not what he wanted to do. As Thorne right now has caught up to the 10 of Ward and basically passes him pretty quickly. As we see, it looks like the main group is starting to catch up to the 51. But they definitely have a ton of time to make up. As we hit lap 74 of 81. So right now, the 51, this is the race. 51 this is his race to lose. As right now he has a teammate about 2 seconds back, and the 29 about a little bit over 3.5 seconds back. So he's definitely in the lead. The 7 right now doesn't look like he's going to catch the 7, at least not this lap. And may not this race, as we only have about 6 laps to go as we follow the 51 of Barker. It looks like he is starting to pull away from the 45 as well. We'll see about this lap. See if he pulled away a little bit more. Not sure if that updated or not. But he's still about over 1.5 seconds ahead of the 45 and 3.5 seconds ahead of the 29. I really hope none of the computers pit towards the end of this race, as it has happened a lot of times, which ends up screwing the entire race up. As we hit laps 50 or 77. So we have about 4 laps to go. Doesn't look like anybody is going into the pits, so that's definitely good. It looks like 24 of Reeves is dropping back a little bit. As we see the 80 of Brooks is trying to get a top 15. Definitely would be good for him. It's looking like Ward has finally passed back the 0 of Thorne, and now him and his teammate of 23 are starting to race to see if they can make a run for top, get 2 of them in the top 5 position. If they can link up and get past the 17 of Mass. So they do have a decent amount of space to go. I don't think they're going to be able to catch up to any of the 2 leaders of the 51 or the 45. But they can definitely make a push for that fourth position of 17. As we are on lap 79 of 81. As I'm scrolling through again to see, hopefully nobody takes a pit stop, especially with all the couple of laps remaining. As it does look like the 23 and 10 did catch up to the 17, but it looks like 17 was able to stay in front of the 23, which caused the 10 to get pushed beside him. It looks like 23 may get passed by the 0 of Thorn. As we are on lap 81. So right now this definitely is the race to lose for Barker in this 51. As he's coming around. I mean, he has nobody around him at all. He has a couple laps more to catch up to a lapped car. But it looks like nobody was able to catch him once he got that huge amount of space. So we take a look at some of the other cars that are coming into for the finish. So overall, a very clean race. One issue with the 00, but other than that, nothing else happened. So a very clean race, a lot of movement for a lot of these drivers. So we take a look at the final standings. So two teammates finished first and second, so Barker and Rollins. So Rollins had the pole and he finished second place. So definitely a good start for his career. And then Adams, who started second place, finished 7th place. Was not able to get past Mass, though he was able to help his teammate Ward get past Mass. And falling back through towards the end, looks like Custer, who got his teammate, or first got his sponsor today, did not do very good. Ended up finishing last place. As we take a look, so J King 27th, Wayne King started way towards the back. Let's see who started last. So Jarvie started last place, and he was able to move up to 32nd place. And then King, I think, was the first first driver who got in based on season points and not qualifying, as he would not have qualified if he wasn't so up in points, but he finished in 23rd position, so that's definitely good for him. I'm going to export this. I think we're on 15. Might be on 16. Let's put 16. And that worked. So yeah, definitely good. Congratulations to Barker. I think his first win of the season. And definitely congratulations to Rollins getting the pole and getting a second place position. So that's definitely good for him. Alright, so it's I think that'll be it for today. No Carnage event, no truck event. I think I'm going to finish a few things in the truck events. So I think if you have enough money, maybe they'll still get into the Kentucky truck event. But if not, see you for the next one. Or the next ARCA race, which will hopefully be in a couple of days once I'm able to update everything. But yeah, so congratulations to the winner of Barker, and I will see you guys next